Jorge Arreaza Montserrat, Minister of the People's Power for Foreign Affairs of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Thank you very much. On behalf of President Maduro and the people and government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, it is my pleasure to convey warm greetings to all of our brothers and sisters of NAM. Allow me to express our appreciation for the convening of this ministerial meeting to address such an important and relevant subject, particularly in the current international juncture. I would also like to seize this opportunity to thank you for your briefing on the latest escalation of hostilities along the line of contact in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict zone. Firstly, our solidarity with the victims and those injured following the recent clashes. In this regard, and bearing in mind the historic role of our movement as an anti-war and peace-loving force, from this rostrum, as a country that promotes a doctrine of diplomacy of peace, we make a call for the de-escalating tensions, for political dialogue, and for an immediate ceasefire in line with the recent appeal of the UN Secretary General. We also make vows for the achievement of a peaceful, negotiated, and lasting resolution amongst the parties on the basis of international law and of the provisions of both the Charter and relevant UN resolutions, while reiterating our support for the efforts of the Minsk Group towards that end, and especially the recent efforts of Russia. The year 2020, which has supposed to be marked by the commemoration of important international milestones, such as the 75th anniversary of the United Nations or the 65th anniversary of the Afro-Asian Conference of Bandung and the 25th anniversary of the Fourth World Conference of Women, has been hijacked by the onslaught of a deadly pandemic that has impacted without distinction of any kind all of humanity, all sectors, forcing us to change and rethink our lifestyles. Thus, we agree, as the Secretary General insists, that COVID-19 has triggered an unprecedented human crisis. However, the year 2020, with the difficulties and challenges that it has brought with it, has also left us positive lessons. We have not only been bound to work with one another in the interest of common good and well-being of our peoples, understanding that there's no alternative to international solidarity and cooperation, but we have also been granted an opportunity for building back our world better and stronger, with greater inclusion, with greater equity, with greater environmental justice and conscience, and with greater resilience for facing future crises. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed and stressed the differences between our nations. While making it clear that we live in an interconnected world, we must work in a collective and coordinated manner within the framework of an inclusive multilateralism, bearing in mind that we will not be safe until each and every one of us has defeated the virus at home. In this regard, it is necessary to avoid the application of policies that only serve to undermine national efforts to fight the coronavirus. Today, more than ever, it is necessary that the unilateral coercive measures which flagrantly violate the UN Charter and norms of international law be repealed, mindful of the fact that their illegal implementation is preventing today that subjected countries have timely and effective access to medical equipment and supplies, medicines and treatments, testing kits, food, fuel, and other basic services needed to ensure that the largest number of lives can be saved. Mr. Chair, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, true to its historic diplomacy of peace, is fully committed with the Bandung principles, which remain as valid or even more valid than in 1955, and calls upon their defense and ensuring respect and adherence to them. These 10 founding principles must serve not only as guide for our movement and its endeavors, but to the actions of our governments in the conduction of our international relations. Should we truly want to guarantee relationships of friendship and cooperation, On the basis of mutual respect, we should uphold these principles. To conclude, from Venezuela, we want to recall one of the core premises of our movement: unity in diversity. Hence, we make an appeal to strengthen the unity, solidarity, and understanding amongst the membership. This is the only way to truly advancing in a process of full revitalization for facing together the complex and emerging challenges of today's world. This is the only way for us to have an even greater incidence in international fora and intergovernmental negotiations, as well as for implementing the decisions adopted by our leaders. This is the only way we will achieve our common goal of establishing a more peaceful and prosperous world and of a just and equitable world order. Together, we have the real power in this world. Together, the non-aligned movement has much more power than the aligned countries. Let's work together for peace. Thank you very much.
I thank distinguished